Okay, question 15 on 2S, gap analysis paper. Becky buys a car. The car costs £16,000. Becky pays a deposit of 25% of the cost. I'm going to pause and I'm going to work out 25% of the 16,000. Now in an exam, unfortunately, writing this is not a method mark, but if I write 16,000 divided by 4 or 0.25, that's my percentage as a decimal, of means to multiply 16,000, I'm going to get my £4,000. This is my deposit. So I'm just making myself a little note. Notice how I've not read on. I'm literally doing the first bit. Tick it off. Done. She pays the rest of the cost. So now I want to know what the rest of the cost is. So I'm going to do 16,000 minus 4,000. That gives me £12,000. So this is the rest. She pays the rest, sort of done that bit, of the cost in 24 equal monthly payments. So I'm now going to divide that by 24. Got my calculator, so I don't need to worry about doing this in my head. 12,000 divided by 24 gives me £500 per month. And I'm making myself a little note as we go through. £500 per month. Becky says that each monthly payment is less than 450. Is she correct? No. 500 is more than 450. Of course, you can just write no and then 500 greater than 450. That is also fine. Right, question 16. Noah counted the number in the people in 40 cars. Table gives information about his results. So I'm instantly thinking that this is probably going to be a mean question, and I can see the mean here. Firstly though, we've got the median to deal with. Find the median number of people. This is my middle person, or my middle thing. I've got 40 cars, so effectively I've got all of these in order, and I want to find out the middle car and how many people that's got in it. So to find the median position, we're going to do 40 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 20.5. So we need to actually go to the 20.5th car. So we're basically going to go between the 20th car and the 21st car and take the mean of those two numbers. So what I want to do is accumulate my frequencies now. We're going to imagine that all of these cars are in order with the number of people that's in them. So there's 13 up to that point, 25 up to that point, 31, 38, 40. I want to go between my 20th and my 21st car. Well, that happened here. Up to this point I'd only been walking past 13 cars. Now I've walked past, if you like, 25 cars. So my median is in here, it's 2. Work out the mean number of people in a car. So what we want to do is we're going to multiply across. 13 cars, so I've got one person in it. I'm going to do it this way because I've run out of space over there. 13 cars have got 1 people in it, so that is 13 people in total. 12 cars have got 2 people in them, so that's 24 people in total. 6 cars have got 3 people in it, so that is 18 people in total. 7 have got 4 people, so that is 28 people. And 2 have got 5 people, so that's 10 people. This is now the number of people. So I want to add all of these up, and it's fine to write it all up here in the exam. So I'm going to do 13 plus 24 plus 18 plus 28 plus 10. I've got 93 people in total in all of these cars. And I want to now share those 93 people across the 40 cars. Divide by 40, and I get an answer of 2.325, and that is your answer. I know it's not a whole number of people, but that's okay. We're talking about a mean and average number of people. Question 17, use your calculator to work out. This is literally as simple as type that into your calculator. 35.4 minus 12.7 divided by 6.93 plus 24.8. Get your number, write down all the figures on your display. It doesn't mean now scroll right and find millions and millions of numbers. It's literally just these numbers you can see on the screen. 07154112827 That's always part A and it's worth 2 marks. Part B, correct to 2 significant figures. So I want to start counting at the numbers of significance. So 0 doesn't count unless it's within the number. So that's 1, 2 numbers. If I was to chop that off and have to do some rounding, we're going to get 0.7. The 5 will round the 1 up to 0.72. Express 140 as the product of its prime factors. Well, that's 14 times 10. 14 is 2 times 7. They are both prime. 10 is 2 times 5. Both prime. Product means to multiply, so I'm going to write this out. 2 times 2 times 7 times 5. Doesn't matter the order you write it. You could write it as 2 squared times 5 times 7 if you want to. Find the lowest common multiple of 40 and 15. So I'm going to do the same thing again. 40 is 4 times 10. That's 2 times 2. That's 2 times 5. Put them all in a little circle. 15 is 3 times 5. And then I'm going to use a Venn diagram again. And like I said on paper 1, this is, in my long marking history, the most effective way to get this number. So anything that pairs is going to go in the middle, which is a 5 only on this one. 3 left in that one, and then I've got 3 2s, which can't pair up with anything over here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. My lowest common multiple is all of the numbers, all you see, multiplied together. So it's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 3, and you have got a calculator, so do it on a calculator. Obviously, if you have time at the end of an exam, go back and double check that you've typed all these in right. 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 3, 120, and we're done. Right, question 19, simplify. So this is divide, so we're going to subtract the powers. If we're subtracting the powers, x to the 12, divided by x to the 3, is going to be x to the power of 12 minus 3, so it's x to the power of 9. This means g to the 4 is being times by g to the 4 itself, it's being squared. So the rule here, if we were timesing, would be to add the powers. If you see this though, and you're happy just to do 4 times 2, that will also get you your answer. Expand. If you want to, use a grid to help you. 4x squared plus 3 multiplied by x. So, technically there's a 1 there if you like. 4 times 1 is 4. X squared times x is x cubed. This is a positive times a positive, so I'm going to get a positive, and it's going to be 3 times x is 3x. So that's my answer. 4x cubed plus 3x. Expand and simplify. Use a grid. N plus 6, n minus 4. You are timesing here. N times n is n squared. 6 times n is positive. That's also technically positive, so plus 6n. N times negative 4, so that's a positive times a negative is a negative. N times 4, 4n. Negative times a positive makes a negative, so 4 times 6 is 24. And then at the end we need to simplify. The only terms we can collect together are these two, so it's going to be n squared and a minus 24 on the end. And then we've got 6n minus 4n is 2n. Okay, question 20. Before I've even started this question, I can see a triangle and I can see a circle. So I'm going to jot down some things about a triangle. Area is half base times height for a triangle. Circle, area is pi r squared. If I need circumference, it's going to be pi times diameter, or you could obviously have 2 pi r. Here is a plan of Shay's garden. There is a circle inside a triangle. We can see that. I'm just going to tick that off because I know I don't need to look at that again. The circle has a diameter of 8. Good little tip, write down d equals 8. That means the radius is going to be 4. This means now that when I come to use either of these, I'm going to pick the right number. Shay will cover, so cover is now area. The shaded area with grass. So look at it and consider the fact that the shaded area is the triangle, take away the circle. So I'm actually just going to start with that. I'm not going to read the rest for the moment. I'm going to start with that. So area of the triangle, it's going to be area of the triangle take away the area of the circle. area of the triangle is going to be a half times the base times the height. The area of the circle is going to be pi times 4 squared, because it's r squared, and we've already established the radius is 4. If you do this and write the subtract between them, that gets you the mark really, really quickly. In fact, that'll probably get you 2 marks. So on my calculator, I'm actually going to type that in and do it. So I've got a half times 18 times 15 minus pi times 4 squared, and I get this long number. So I'm actually going to keep that number on my, I'm going to write it down for the examiner, but I'm going to keep that number on my calculator. So that's the area of grass that she's got. Grass seed is sold in bags. Each bag of grass seed covers an area of 15. So I can see what's kind of coming next. I'm guessing they're going to ask me how many bags. Work out the number of bags. So each 15 metres squared is going to give us this. It's going to cover it. So if I do my 84.73 for blah 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 divided by 15, that gives us 5.648 etc. bags. Work out the number of bags she's going to need. Well, she's going to need to therefore buy 6 bags. Shay finds that each bag of grass seed only covers an area of 13. Well, if in doubt, let's just go back and divide it by 13, and I get 6.5 bags. How does this affect your answer to bag part A? She will need more bags. Because it comes to 6.5, we're going to need 7 bags in total. Right, question 21. This year, the total weight of carrots grown on a farm is 1/5 less than last year. This year, the total weight of carrots grown is 6,400 tonnes. So if that's 1/5 less than last year, that must be equivalent to 4/5 of last year. Because it's 1/5 less. So 4/5 of whatever it was last year. Work out the total weight of carrots grown last year. Well, if this is 4/5, I want to know effectively what 5/5 are. So I'm going to divide this by 4. This is 4/5 of it. So I'm going to do 6,400 divided by 4. Get on your calculator. 6,400 divided by 4 is going to be 1,600. So this is the same as 1/5 of last year. So to find out last year, if I now just do 1,600 times by 5, I get 8,000. And we're done. Right, question 22. In London, 2 kilos of apples cost this. I'm going to pause. I don't know if it's going to be relevant, but what I'm actually going to instantly do is say that 1 kilogram costs £2.05. Don't know if it's going to be relevant, but of course, if 2 kilos cost that, 1 kilo is just going to be half of it. In New York, 5 pounds of apple cost this, $6.40. I could divide that. I could say, well, 1 pound is going to be $6.40 divided by 5. What is that? 6.4 divided by 5, 1.28. Don't know if it's going to be relevant, but and you never know, I might get a mark for it. 1 pound is 1.35 US dollars. 1 kilo is 2.2 pounds. In which city are apples better value for money? There are going to be a lot of different ways you can do this. I'm actually just going to say, use this bit for a moment, and I'm going to connect these two because I went to the trouble of doing this, so I may as well use it. So 1 kilogram is £2.05p. Well, that means that 2.2 pounds, so this is in London, 2.2 pounds is equivalent to £2.05p. I want to compare this to £1. So £1 is going to be divided by 2.2. So I'm going to take my 2.05 and I'm going to divide by 2.2, and I get this horrible number, 0.9318 recurring pounds. So £1 is equal to 0.9318 pounds. I now need to compare my £1 in dollars to pounds, so we're going to do a conversion. So I would probably convert pounds into dollars. It doesn't really matter which way around, or we can do dollars into pounds. Let's do dollars into pounds. Right, so £1 is equal to, and this is in my dollars, $1.35. We have got $1.28. If I do 128 and divide it by 1.35, that will convert it into pounds for me. 1.28 divided by 1.35 is 0.948 blah 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 pounds. So this is in New York. So in London the apples cost 0.93 pounds. In New York they cost 0.948. So in which city are they better value for money? It's going to be in London. There are going to be a lot of different ways that you can do that question though. 23. Bria rounds the number n to one decimal place. So the way that I do this is I then shove myself a 0 on. I'm now sort of thinking about this as being 30. Completely error interval. So numbers that round up and down to 30, you're going to have 25 and 35. I know technically we can't be 35, but it sort of is taken into account by this inequality. So it's going to be 24.25 and 24.35.